Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scout Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 3 update show. We have a doubleheader going on with two games, Buffalo and Jacksonville and Washington and Cincinnati. We'll talk about what I think is going to happen and what everybody thinks is going to happen or expects to happen. But first, here is today's Scout Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 3 trivia question. It is a Bills trivia question. Which former Heisman Trophy candidate was the Buffalo Bills' elite running back? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Uh, it's Monday Night Football, Week 3. We have a Monday Night doubleheader for Week 3. In the early game, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills are squaring off right now at Highmark Stadium in Buffalo. The Jaguars will look to go to 0 and 3 to avoid and to look to avoid an 0 and 3 start, and the Bills will look to go to 2 and 0 on the season and remain undefeated. And right now in the fourth quarter, which is just getting underway in Buffalo, with 14:24 to go, second and goal. The Jaguars have the ball, and it's 37-10 Buffalo, and it's a long night. The Jaguars really got to score if they want to come back and win this, but I don't think Jaguar fans are holding their breath right now. The Jaguars are 0-2 and need a win badly. They've had a tough couple of losses to start the season. The Bills can get them thinking about another one if they can jump on them early. Last year, when the two teams played in London, Jacksonville jumped out in front 18-7 before the Bills mounted a comeback that was too little too late. Baylor Spector will start at middle linebacker for the Bills and for the injured Terrell Bernard. And Dorian Williams is starting for Matt Milano at weak side linebacker. Both are physical tacklers, but can struggle in coverage. Expect the Jaguars to try and test the Bills' linebackers through the air. Buffalo defensive coordinator Bob Babich will have to have a plan to combat that strategy, and Spector and Williams will need to make a few plays against the pass. I don't know. Yeah, it's a few plays against the pass. And they will need to do that. Uh, the Jaguars play a lot of man-to-man defense. That means Bills pass catchers and especially their wide receivers need to win plenty of one-on-one matchups. Uh, and Allen's running can also be a factor when facing man-to-man, man-to-man. But if the receiver can't get separate early, it will also allow him to get rid of the ball before even having to make that decision. So, and right now it is 37-10 Buffalo, excuse me. 37-10 Buffalo. Forget what I said previously, but it's fourth and goal, and at the Buffalo, and Jacksonville has the ball. It's at the Buffalo 12. They had a penalty that last play, so it's a fourth and goal. Uh, and Lawrence got sacked at the Buffalo 27 from minus 10 yards. I think it was Von Miller that sacked him. So now it's first and 10 at the Buffalo 27. Now Buffalo has the ball. So we'll see if uh, if Jacksonville can make a comeback, or but it looks like Buffalo will hold on and get the win. Uh, and in the late game, the Washington Commanders and the Cincinnati Bengals are colliding right now at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Bengals will look to avoid an 0-3 start, and the Commanders will look to go to 2-0 on the season. And right now, it's in the third quarter, 9:54 to go. Washington's about to kick off. It's 28-13. Washington. And right now, it looks like I'm going to go over all the what has happened so far. That's what I will do, is go through it. Uh, the Bengals scored their in the first quarter. The Bengals scored their first touchdown of the game, and it was Joe Burrow passed deep left to Jamar Chase for a 41-yard touchdown. McPherson's extra point is good, and it was 7-0 Bengals. Then the Washington Commanders answered and scored their first touchdown of the game. Brian Robinson left guard for the 1-yard touchdown. Seabird's extra point is good, and it was tied at 7. And then Buffalo got in the field goal range because they got 3-11 to Washington 20. Burrow's pass to complete deep left to Gesicki at for no gain, and then McPherson. We got 4th and 11. It was 4th and 11 at the Washington 3. They got in the field goal range. McPherson had a 48-yard field goal. It was no good. It went wide left, and it was tied at 7 at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Washington Commanders scored their second touchdown of the game very quickly. Elliker left guard for the 24-yard touchdown. Seabird's extra point is good. It was 14-7. Commanders. And then the Joe Burrow pass complete to Iosivas was complete short left to Iosivas for no gain. And then they got 4th and 9 at the Washington 9. And McPherson had a 28-yard field goal. It was good. It was 14-10 Bengals. And then Washington scored their third touchdown of the game. Daniels left end for the 4-yard touchdown. Seabird's extra point is good. It was 21-10. Commanders. And Burrow's pass was incomplete, short right to Jamar Chase for no gain. And then 4th and 6, so 36 at the Washington 13. Now 4th and 6 at the Washington 13. McPherson's 31-yard field goal is good, and it was 21-13. Washington, the Commanders. And at the end of the first half, McPherson kicks from 65 yards from Cincy to the end zone for a touchback and to the Washington 30. I'm sorry about the stumbliness. Daniels kneels to end the first half for -1 yards at the Washington 29. 21-13 at halftime. And then the Commanders scored their 4th touchdown of the game. Scott was Daniels' pass, short left to Scott for the 1-yard touchdown. I think it was Terrell Scott for the 1-yard touchdown. And then Seabird's extra point was good. It was 28-13. And right now, Burrow's pass was incomplete. It was 1st and 10 at Washington 46. Short left to Iosivas for no gain. And right now, that's where we stand. It's 5 plays, 32 yards, and 2:43 time of possession. And since he's about to kick off, and the Commanders about to get the ball back, so and I'm gonna go over the Jacksonville Jaguars Buffalo game in just a second. But first, it's time now to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 3 trivia question, and it is a Bills trivia question. Which former Heisman Trophy candidate was the Buffalo Bills' elite running back during the 1990s? If you said Thurman Thomas, you are correct. How good was Thurman Thomas? The legendary Barry Sanders was his backup at Oklahoma State, although Sanders went on to win the Heisman Trophy for the Outstanding College Player of the Year in 1988. Something that eluded Thomas in 1988. Thomas was drafted by the Bills in 1988 and was selected as the league's most valuable player in 1991. He left the Bills in 1999 to briefly play for Miami, but he re-signed with his whole team for a day so that he could retire as a Bill. Thomas was inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2007 in his second year of eligibility. And I will have another trivia question on my next podcast, which will be for my Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame show on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Uh, and right now, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over the what's happened in the Jaguars Bills game. Excuse me. We'll go over that. First quarter, the Bills scored their first touchdown of the game. Cook left tackle for the 5-yard touchdown. Best's extra point was blocked, and it was a missed extra point, and it was 6-0 Bills. Jacksonville had the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays, 1 yard. And then the Bills scored their second touchdown of the game. Josh Allen's pass, short right to Devon to Kincaid for the 6-yard touchdown. And Bass's extra point was good. It was 13-0 Bills. Then Jacksonville had Trevor Lawrence pass a complete deep left to Geno Davis. I think it was Geno Davis, something like that, and caught out of bounds in the front corner of the end zone. And it was for no gain. It was 3rd and 9 at the Buffalo 23. That was 4th and goal at the Buffalo 23. Little's 41-yard field goal was good. It was 13-3 Buffalo at the end of the first quarter. The Buffalo Bills scored their second touchdown of the game. Josh Allen passed deep right to Coleman for the 24-yard touchdown, and Bass's extra point is good, and it was 20-3 Buffalo. And then Jacksonville had an interception. First attempt to Jacksonville 41. Trevor Lawrence passed deep right, intended for Thomas, intercepted by Hamlin at the Buffalo 40-yard line, and to the Jacksonville 41 for 19 yards, and Farrell, the receiver, overthrown at the Buffalo 45. And the Bills got the ball back and scored their fourth touchdown of the game. And it was Josh Allen short right to Kayla Shakir for the 27-yard touchdown. Best extra point is good, and it was 27-3. And then the Jaguars had the punt after going 3 and out, 5 plays, 3 yards. And then the Buffalo Bills scored their fifth touchdown of the game. Josh Allen passed deep left to Ty Johnson for the 16-yard touchdown. That's the extra point is good, and it was 34-3 Buffalo. And then it was a Trevor Lawrence 32 at Jacksonville 38. Trevor Lawrence pass incomplete, deep middle to Strange underthrown receiver at Buffalo 45. Then 4th and 2 at the Jacksonville 38. And then Trevor Lawrence had a pass incomplete, short right, thrown away, and that ended up being a turnover on downs. And it was 34-3 at the break. And then Jacksonville scored finally their first touchdown of the game at the beginning of the third quarter. Trevor Lawrence pass short. I'm sorry. Having a little technical problem here, and I do apologize for that. It was Trevor Lawrence. It was Trevor Lawrence pass short left to Strange for the 6-yard touchdown. Little's extra point was good, and it was 34-10 Buffalo. Then Buffalo tried to get in the field goal to score a touchdown. Josh Allen's 37 to Jacksonville 9. Josh Allen's passing complete, short middle to Kincaid to Von Miller, receiver on coverage, 9 yards into the end zone for no gain. And then it was a 4th and 7 at the Jacksonville 9. They got in the field goal range. Passes, 27-yard field goal is good, and it was 37 to 10. Buffalo, and then we Buffalo had and then it was Jacksonville actually. It was 4th and 12 at the Buffalo 4th and 12 at the Buffalo 12. Penalty on Jacksonville. Little false start. 5 yards and 4th at the Buffalo 12 for no play, and then 4th and 17 at the Buffalo 17. Trevor Lawrence sacked at the Buffalo 27 for minus 10 yards. And right now, now we're in the 4th. Let me do this real quickly. The Bills have the punt. They're going 3 and out, 3 plays, 7 yards. And right now, it's 3rd and 17 at the Jacksonville 25. And it was Trevor Lawrence pass short, a middle to Katayeen. And that's where we basically stand right now. And so we'll see. I don't think Jacksonville Jaguars fans are hoping that that are holding their breath that the Jaguars are going to win, because it looks like Buffalo is going to get the win, and the and the Kansas City Chiefs. I forgot. Let me make this a Sunday Night Football postgame show. I forgot to let everybody know that the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Atlanta Falcons last night on Sunday Night Football, 22 to 17, and that was and it was in Atlanta. That's where it was at, and boy, this was quite a game last night. Patrick Mahomes threw a pair of touchdown passes, and Kansas City's defense made a couple of late stands to keep the Chiefs unbeaten with a 22 to 17 victory over the Atlanta Falcons last night. The 2-time reigning Super Bowl champion Chiefs, they go to 3-0, have been far from perfect. Mahomes threw another interception, but they won their first 3 games by a combined 13 points. Thank the defense for this one. Coming up, an upset victory at Philadelphia. The Falcons fall to 1-2, had a couple of shots at the go-ahead touchdown in the closing minutes. Kirk Cousins threw a pair of incompletions in the end zone from the Chiefs. 6 to the end zone and chance to end zone. One chance, and the final Atlanta drive ended with Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson being thrown for a 3-yard loss on 4th and 1 at the Kansas City 13 with less than a minute remaining. Mahomes threw 217 yards, including scoring throws to Rashee Rice and Juju Smith-Schuster, and Harrison Butker booted 3 field goals for the Chiefs. Cousins was 20 of 29 for 230 yards, and with a 13-yard touchdown pass to Drake London and a 50-yard completion to Kyle Pitts that set up Robinson's 1-yard scoring run, carrying on the momentum from their last-minute stunner at Philly. Cousins and the Falcons took the opening kickoff and drove 70 yards for a touchdown. Cousins completed all 5 passes for 66 yards, and including a 14-yard scoring loss to Drake London, who caught the winning score against the Eagles. London wound up all alone in the end zone on a busted coverage by the Chiefs. These games into his 3rd season, London became the fastest player in Falcons history to reach 150 career receptions. Mahomes responded with a long drive of his own, taking the Chiefs 75 and 17 plays, but failing to come away with any points, going for Noah Gray in the end zone. Mahomes intercepted by Justin Simmons, the 4th pick of the season for the Chiefs star quarterback. But Mahomes bounced back from that miscue to push Kansas City all the way to the end zone. 13 play, 79-yard possession ended with a 13-yard touchdown pass to Rice. The Falcons reclaimed the lead on Robinson's 1-yard touchdown run, which was set up by Cousins 50-yard pass to Kyle Pitts. But Atlanta's offensive line took a pair of hits when right tackle Caleb McGarry and center Drew Dahlman both went out with injuries. With a pair of backups joining the ranks, the guys up from struggled to keep the pressure off Cousins, who was sacked twice and hit 10 more times as he threw, spending much of the night picking himself off the turf and at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. One of those hits resulted in a wobbly pass that was picked off by Shamari Kamari Kamari Connor, setting up Butker's 44-yard field goal that sliced the Falcons' edge to a 14-13 lead at halftime. Butker put the Chiefs ahead to stay on a 21-yard chip shot in the third quarter, and Kansas City stretched the lead on Mahomes' 13-yard touchdown pass to Smith Schuster late in the third quarter. And the Chiefs linebacker Nick Bolton hobbled off the field in the fourth quarter, but came back to make the big stop on Robinson. Falcons, McGarry and Dolman both went out in the second quarter. McGarry was helped off the field with a knee injury and replaced by Storm Norton. Dolman was replaced by Ryan Nuzil after being sidelined with an ankle issue. And the Chiefs stay on the road for another week when they visit Los Angeles next Sunday to face the Chargers, who are 2-1 after their victory over Pittsburgh yesterday, which will be in an AFC West matchup. And the Falcons play their second of three straight home games when their NFC South rival, the New Orleans Saints, who are 2-1, visit next Sunday. So I got to give the game balls to the Chiefs. And Patrick Mahomes, 20 of 6 of 39, 217 yards, carries and attempts. 26 of 39 carries and attempts, 217 yards, excuse me. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rasheed Rice, 12 receptions, 110 yards, 1 touchdown. And Carson Steele, 17 attempts, 72 yards. So it was Kansas City that prevailed in this one. And Atlanta will look to even up their record at 2-2. And KC will look to remain undefeated and go to 4-0. So, but right now, and Cincinnati just scored in the fourth quarter, but the field goal was no good. Now it's 28-20, Commanders. So, since he's still with a chance, and before I sign off, and I'm going to do a little Major League Baseball update. As you know, even though the Guardians they lost the series with the Marlins, but won Friday night's game, and actually Saturday night's game they lost, but they won Friday. But Saturday night, thanks to the Kansas City Chiefs' loss, it was a 9-0 loss. The Cleveland Guardians clinched the American League Central Division for the second time in 3 years. And I want to say congratulations. And I want to show, I want to take just a moment to show the I want to take just a moment to show the shirt and the cap that was presented to me. And this is what they wore in the locker room. And so the Guardians are in the playoffs. Now they're going to work on trying to get the first round bye with these remaining 6 games. They are off today, but they do have a 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds tomorrow. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up. Oh, actually, hold on. Before I do wrap up, right now I am 7-7, and my brother-in-law, Eric Hoyle, is 3-11. Actually, 3-6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 3-11 right now. He is 3-11. So I'm going to win the picks, but Has not been the greatest week. The best I can do is 9-7. So I just wanted to give you an update on that. Now, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition for the uh, for the Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football update show and Sunday Night Football post-game show. I'll be back with the Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football post-game show once both Monday night games have concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.